Hey everybody, it is Kneecap here, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the new allied race slash what I call sub-race, Zandalari Trolls coming up in the next expansion, Battle for Azeroth. These are obviously going to be a subset of the troll race that you'll have to unlock, then you can play. And I'm going to talk about a little bit about the lore of the Zandalari Trolls, and then kind of how I might see that changing in the game, what I see changing in the game once they're introduced and joining the Horde. So, first of all, there's so much troll lore and so much Zandalari troll lore as they are the oldest troll. I probably won't do this justice, and I apologize to anyone who's like a super big troll fan. I'm going to try to give like the Cliff Notes version of Zandalari trolls. Zandalari trolls are, like I said, the oldest, the first trolls. They have a kinship. They tamed the dinosaurs in their area. I think they had a kinship with the Mogu from Pandaria, which, if you played Mists of Pandaria, then you know who those are. And they also were the most in tune with their Loa wild gods. So they're kind of also were known as, because of that probably, and because they were the strongest and first tribe, they were kind of known as like the high class of the trolls. So like if all the other tribes looked up to them in a way. Not saying that they revered them necessarily, but maybe they did. But like they were the most prestigious of the trolls. So eventually, the other tribes did break off of the Zandalari. All the trolls that we know. There's so many. I mean, there's the forest trolls, the ice trolls, frost trolls, which are ice trolls that are down south further. Um, uh, how you know blood trolls. I don't even know which ones I already said. There's so many different types of troll tribes, and then from there, of course, there's many different kinds of forest trolls. There's different kinds of sand trolls. There's so many trolls, and there's so much troll lore, and it all kind of ties into each other, which is actually really neat and something that I learned while reading things for this video. I learned a ton that I didn't know already know. The Zandalari were involved, of course, in the Troll Wars during the Sundering. The Sundering, of course, is when the Well of Eternity split Azeroth into Kalmador and the Eastern Kingdoms, and thus creating the Maelstrom and all the big islands in between. Um, the Zandalari Empire, they put a protective spell around their city, around their area, and after the Sundering, that was protected and preserved. But of course, they are now an island in the sea, which we'll be seeing in the expansion. Something I thought was interesting that does tie into WoW a little bit is they actually were the ones who discovered the goblin race on their island, and they actually enslaved the goblins. I had no idea of that. Again, I haven't done much on the lore side of the Horde at all, outside of maybe Orc and a little bit of Tauren. I don't know a ton about the lore, so I thought that was really interesting. Now, let's get into them in World of Warcraft and where they've been there. So they haven't been prominent in World of Warcraft, of course. Um, so the Zandalari Trolls, originally in Vanilla, or Classic WoW, were in Stranglethorn Vale on Yajumba Isle, and they were the ones sending you into Zul'Gurub, and you were interacting with them. You've always, even as an alliance, I was always interacting with them back in the day. I didn't even know they were Zandalari Trolls back then. In Wrath of the Lich King, they make another appearance. They appear in Zul'Drak, and they're the ones, kind of giving you the quests, I believe, for Zul'Drak to go and kind of watch the defeat of that empire. They also have two little outposts in that zone as well, Zimtorga and Dubergen, I believe that's how you pronounce it. So again, I was interacting with these Zandalari trolls, not even knowing what they are. So it's kind of cool in hindsight. Next time when I'm questing there, I will know that, and I will maybe appreciate it a little bit more. In Cataclysm, when everything happened there, they left Yajumba Isle, the ones that were there, left Yajumba Isle in Stranglethorn and went back to Zandalar. What was really interesting now, and what kind of catches us up a little bit, is they also at this point, during the Cataclysm expansion, that is, not during the Cataclysm itself, they decided to reach out to all the other troll tribes and kind of consolidate into one big empire and kind of like, for lack of a better term, take over the world. Vol'jin tried to stop them, getting help from Alliance and Horde alike to try to stop them. And that's when we see the remake of Zul'Gurub and then Zolaman come into play. And so that was them kind of trying to put their influence other places in the world. That's kind of their goal right now for whatever reasons, and I'm sure we'll find those reasons out. Any reasons that haven't already been speculated. During Mists of Pandaria, they appear as well. They play a big role with them because of their relationship, ancient relationship with the Mogu. So obviously, we see the trolls in the Isle of Thunder. That's where a lot of the trolls were residing, on the Throne of Thunder, I should say. And they were with Lei Shin in Mists of Pandaria. So again, that does them no justice. There's pages and pages to read over this. I just had a few notes that I took down. There's tons of lore about the trolls. I actually encourage you to go read about them if you don't already know. It's really interesting. And again, I'm not doing them any service by just the little cliff notes I just gave you. So what do I think could happen in the expansion now with the trolls, with the Zandalari trolls? Again, this is kind of, it's almost like the lore, because the possibilities are almost endless with this as well, because there's so many trolls in the game already. So I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible, but you have all these different troll tribes, so you could see any of these troll tribes, for example, joining with the Zandalars. So whether it's the trolls in the hinterlands, or the trolls in Stranglethorn, or the trolls in Daenerys, there's trolls everywhere, and you could see maybe possibly some of these tribes joining up with the Zandalari and basically joining the Horde as well in that way, or maybe the Zandalari just kind of taking over them, over the tribe, since they're kind of all in about conquest right now. Even though they are joining the Horde, I have a feeling they're still going to have their own personal conquest goals as well. So you could see that happening. We know that at one point there's some little miniature storyline of them trying to get the Frostmane trolls to attack Ironforge or something like that. So that could come into more of play, especially it was Moira and the Dark Irons that kind of like stopped that or something like that. I don't know that storyline completely, but I know that's basically how it goes. So Moira with the Dark Irons, maybe that's the thing. Frostmane trolls and the Dark Irons kind of going at it. But basically, I could definitely see some troll tribes kind of changing their allegiances or changing kind of how they work. Other things that we'll see is now the Zandalari trolls, will they be removed from other areas, especially since they were friendly with with the Alliance, or will those still kind of be rogue trolls that are off on their own? That's interesting to see. So will Zuldrek be changed? Will, where there's trolls there, they're already off Ujumba Isle, so I guess there's not a ton of places other than that where you can still interact with them. But in any place where you can interact with them, will it be different? When you go to the Throne of Thunder as a Horde, will that raid be changed? Will those trolls there be allied with them? That's interesting to see if it changes, or if they keep that the same. I have a feeling that most instances might stay the same in that way, unless they decide to completely remake it. I doubt they'll remake the Throne of Thunder, but here's something that could be interesting. Will they remake ZG and ZA? Zolaman, I believe, was a 10-man raid, and Zul'Gurub was a 5-man heroic. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. It's been a long time, but I believe that's what it was. And if not, then they were just both 5-man heroics. But I believe Zolaman might have been a raid, actually. But will they remake those? And when I say remake, that doesn't mean they have to completely change it. Will it be like Kara? Will ZG now be a raid and still keeping the heroic there if you want to do it? And will ZA now be a dungeon, like a different entrance like in Kara? That could be an interesting thing. Or there will be new troll raids? We already know that for sure. So that'll be interesting to see as well. There's so many things that I'm interested with in these trolls. I'm actually this all inspired me to make a troll character. So I am going to be leveling up a troll because I want to have one, and maybe learn more of the lore through the game as well, or at least the lore of trolls in the game while I'm doing that. So again, this was already a little bit longer than what I anticipated, but there's just so much to talk about with trolls. It was very interesting to read up on them and kind of learn a little bit about them. So thanks everyone for watching, and everyone have a good one. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Thumbs up and sub as always. Also comment below, share the videos. Appreciate it so much. You can also check me out at Twitter at WoW Gaming Inc.
and at Twitch with the tag name Kneecap Killer. So everyone have a good one, and see you again soon.